You take it home, and with a bit of effort, you manage to crack it open. Inside, you find a small capsule, and from it spills a mysterious, beautiful powder that glows an enchanting blue in the dark. It looks like something from a fantasy movie. You think you've struck it rich. You show it to your family, your friends, your neighbors. Children paint their faces with it, thinking it's glitter. You rub it on your skin, mesmerized by its otherworldly glow. This isn't a fairy tale. This is the true story of the Goiânia accident in Brazil, one of the worst radiological disasters in history. And that beautiful glowing powder? It was cesium-137, a highly radioactive substance. What happened next was a slow, agonizing, real-life horror story. It all started in September 1987. Two men, Roberto dos Santos Alves and Wagner Moura Pereira, were scavenging for scrap metal in the ruins of an abandoned radiotherapy clinic in Goiânia. They discovered a teletherapy unit, a large piece of medical equipment, and decided to take it apart. Inside, they found the source capsule containing the cesium. Believing the metal was valuable, they worked for days to pry it open. Once they breached the capsule, they were immediately captivated by the glowing blue powder. Roberto took the capsule home. Over the next few days, he invited friends and family to see the magical glowing substance. He proudly showed it off, even trying to light a cigarette with its glow. His wife, Gabriela Maria Ferreira, soon began to feel sick. So did Roberto. They experienced vomiting, dizziness, and diarrhea. They thought it was something they ate. Meanwhile, the powder was spreading. Roberto sold the rest of the scrap metal to a junkyard owner named Ferreira. Was equally fascinated by the glow. He brought the capsule into his house to show his wife, his family, and his friends who came to visit. He wanted to make a ring out of the glowing material for his wife. His 6-year-old niece, Lyde Gasneves Ferreira, was particularly enchanted. She played with the powder, touching it, rubbing it on her body, and even ate a small amount with a sandwich. She showed the glowing dust to her mother. Within a few days, everyone who had been in contact with the cesium started showing the terrifying symptoms of acute radiation sickness. Their skin turned red and began to blister, as if from a severe sunburn. Their hair fell out in clumps. They were overwhelmed with nausea and uncontrollable vomiting. Dever's wife, Gabriela, was the first to connect the dots. She noticed that everyone who had visited their home and touched the strange glowing stuff was getting sick. She took the lead, gathering what remained of the powder in a plastic bag and traveling by bus to a local hospital. She placed the bag on the doctor's desk and told him, "This thing is killing my family." Her actions, though exposing herself to even more radiation, were heroic. She likely saved countless other lives. The scale of the contamination was horrifying. Scientists and emergency crews descended on Goiânia. They found dangerously high levels of radiation in homes, in public places, and even in the soil and animals. Entire city blocks had to be cordoned off. Several houses, including Dever's, had to be demolished and the topsoil removed. All contaminated possessions were sealed in concrete drums and buried in a specially constructed repository. But for many, it was too late. The invisible poison was already inside them. 4 people died within the first month. The first was the little girl, 6-year-old Lyde Gasneves Ferreira. She suffered a slow, painful death with internal bleeding, kidney failure, and her body covered in burns. Her mother and another employee of the junkyard also succumbed. Dever, the junkyard owner, survived for years, but was plagued by health problems and became an outcast in his own community, blamed for the disaster. In total, over 112,000 people were screened for contamination, and 249 were found to have significant levels of radiation in their bodies. The Goiânia accident serves as a chilling reminder of the hidden dangers that can lurk in abandoned places. It's a story of how something that looked so beautiful so magical, could be a harbinger of a slow, unseen, and agonizing death. A true horror story where the monster was an invisible, glowing dust. Thanks for watching.